Hi, I'm Matt Eccles, Marketing Director at TyTek Industries, and this is another edition of TyTek Talks with our Engineering Manager, Clint Brown. Hey, Clint.
How you doing, Matt?
Now, as you know, today we're going to be talking about Load Cells 101, precision components, critical results. So really, I just want to, in very simple terms, what's a load cell and how do they work?
A load cell is to put it very bluntly and plainly, it is what makes a scale work. So it is a very simple electromechanical device. It's usually some kind of a beam made either from aluminum or steel, and it has positioned on it very, very small strain gauges that can measure any kind of deflection in that beam as it has a load applied to it. So that you can use those for anything from, a couple of ounces, small food scales, all the way up to you're measuring semis going down the road, getting those kinds of weights. They even use them on rail cars. So there's very, very wide range of applications for them, very wide range of styles. You can get them in single point, you can get them in a shear beam, a button. There's different types of pressure load cells. There's very, very wide applications there.
So I guess they're tiny to almost the size of this area here.
Bigger, yeah, bigger. But yes, you can get anything from, something weighing, a couple of ounces all the way to something weighing 50 tons.
So in the real world, that would be a self-checkout in a grocery store?
Absolutely. That's probably the place where most people use one every day and don't even realize it, is whenever you're going through a self-checkout line and you're taking your item out of your cart, you're scanning it, and you're putting it into the bagging area. It'll tell you, hey, you grabbed two things here, or you didn't put something into the bagging area.
Or the popcorn hasn't weighed properly.
Right, yeah. Or even also if it's something that's a price by weight, that's also how it will work. So you punch in your little code for, apples or whatever, and you set your little bag of apples down there, and it will weigh how much those apples are, apply the price per pound, and that's what gets rung up into your cart.
Gotcha.
So those types of things are where you see them every day, but they're really ubiquitous when you think about it. They are used in inventory management, in factory floors, hospitals, pharmacies. They use them to keep track of inventory. They also use them to keep track of various, high level or high dollar assets that maybe you don't want to buy one for everybody in your factory. So you buy maybe 3 or 4 and everybody shares. But for everybody to be able to share, you have to know where it is. You have to know who checked it out last, who has it.
Yeah.
So you have a home for it that can be a locker that has a scale in the bottom of that locker, and it knows if that product is where it's supposed to be.
And it ties into that whole 5S thing as well.
Exactly. Everything's got a place, and there's a place, if somebody checks it out, it's assigned to them. And if it's like, hey, that thing's not been returned in like 3 weeks, who was the last person to check it out? And they can look it up, they can see who has it, track it down, get it back where it's supposed to be. So there's a lot of different things like that where load cells are used. I had a little bit of an education experience earlier this year. We joined, we're a member of the the International Society of Weights and Measures, and they had their annual conference out in Sacramento, California. And I was fortunate enough to get out there and meet some of the larger players in that industry. Of course, they're doing some very large load cells. They're doing the ones that are on, railroad cars and everything else, knowing whenever it's going down a railroad track, it'll go slowly over the scale. It'll weigh the individual cars, know has anything been, illegally tampered with.
Big ticket stuff.
Yeah. I seem to remember there was an episode of Breaking Bad that was about that, actually.
Okay.
They actually stole some ammonia out of one of the rail cars, and they had to make sure they replaced it with the exact weight because they knew it was going to get weighed later.
Right.
So it's that kind of stuff. But they're used a lot of different places. They can be incredibly accurate. Usually the accuracy is a percentage of the maximum value. Ours are typically rated around the C2 to C3 range, which is pretty standard. It's not anything that's super high accuracy, but it's accurate enough for what our customers are looking
So
for.
how do we ensure for our customers that they meet those international standards and specifications?
Well, our factory is registered. They do manufacture to not necessarily. There's two main standards, and the acronyms are escaping me at this point, but there's one that's U.S. only, and there's one that's more of an international standard. And our factory uses that international standard. But even more so, I would say we probably exceed it most of the time, because when we first found this factory and they first found us, we were both really getting started. We've been with them for about 15 years now. And in that time, we've grown together, we've learned together. The inspections that we do on the load cells, pretty much all of our load cells at this point are 100% inspected right before they get packaged up. And when they get packaged up, they are very well protected. The large ones are even put into kind of an egg crate so that nothing can damage it. And at that point, we have customers that they ask for the load cells to be barcoded with the serial number. So we'll actually print those out and put those on, and then at that final inspection, the inspection data is encoded into a data matrix code that prints out, and we put that on the load cell as well. So
the checks and balances are immense.
Yes, we've done quite a bit to make sure that our customers are getting a load cell that's going to work when they plug it in. Because if you plug it in and you get no load found or zeros across the board, then that just creates all kinds of problems, because now you may not find that out until it's much further down the line.
Sure.
So, and the fact of the matter is, as we've grown in this, we understand the sensitivity of this assembly. I mean, it is some of the wires that they're attaching the strain gauges to the little PC board that's in on the load cell, those wires are the width of a human hair. I mean, they're tiny. I have trouble comprehending how they even can sort which one's which, but they do. But once they get those things soldered into place, then they put a layer of epoxy, kind of a rubberized epoxy coating over the top, and that will protect it for the most part. But they are still very sensitive, because wires that small, they can break very easily. So if you have a sharp corner, if you drop one, it hits that sharp corner, it can break that wire and you'll never know it, because the epoxy has a rebound effect to it, and it'll go back to its original shape, but the wire's still broken underneath.
Yes.
So that's where we've really had to work with our factories and make sure that the handling and the shipping and all of that is very, very well protected. And it's part of the reason that we also do the 100% inspection. So we want to know that whenever it gets that QR code, it's working to spec, it's perfect. And then if it doesn't pass that final code, if it doesn't pass that final inspection, it doesn't get a code.
Right.
It won't print out. You'll get a red light on the tester, and it says, "Hey,"
and it doesn't go to the customer.
And it doesn't go to the customer.
Yeah.
So I believe that our pass rate this last year, I think we were up around 99.7% pass, and that's after shipping across an ocean and getting to our customer. So we've really worked to get that quality where it needs to be. We've worked with our customers and with our factories to make sure that we're giving them exactly what they're looking for.
Perfect. And just to finish, I know we do a lot of high volume work, but can OEMs customize load cells with TyTek?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can within a certain, different attachment points. Like I said, there's a multitude of styles of load cell. You have everything from a very, very small button load cell to, giant canister load cells that can, hold, 5 tons, 20 tons, whatever. So there's a lot of different styles, and there's the attachment points that you can put on those, weight sensing areas. We can work with customers and with our factories to make sure that we, customize it with whatever they're looking for.
Perfect. Thanks, Clint. You've taken a load off my mind.
Happy to help.
If you want to find out more about load cells, you can visit our website at tytekindustries.com, and you'll find all the data sheets, all the information, and all the latest blogs about load cells and all of the other things that we do here at TyTek Industries. Thanks for watching.